When hiring, you need to be looking at several different things, not just qualifications. Let's look at attitude and willingness as well. Hey everybody, Neil Winteregg here. Welcome back to the Matterhorn Business Development YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about hiring, and specifically we're going to talk about hiring an attitude over the qualifications or maybe experience or credentials of another person. When we go into a hiring process, there are multiple things that we have to look at. One of them is obviously the experience and the ability of that person to do the job that you're talking about. But you have to weigh that and balance that as well with the attitude and willingness and ability of a person. So there are multiple things that we have to look at. Now, I bring this up because I really do run into a lot of situations where we might be working with clients from a specialized field, like veterinary medicine or dentistry or chiropractic or something of that nature. And my dad fell into this trap when he was a dentist in a small town as well, where you have an office manager who runs your business, but you realize you need to make a switch, but you are fearful of making that switch because you go, well, I'm in a tiny town. Where am I going to find a dental practice office manager in my small town that I can hire? Well, in that situation, you aren't looking to hire a person who has the experience of a dental practice manager. You are hiring the attitude. You are looking for the ideal candidate's attitude and willingness to learn. And honestly, in a lot of cases, when you hire somebody who has worked at multiple other businesses of the same type for many years, they might come into your business and think that they know how to do things better and be resistant to learning and being resistant to actually doing things the way that you want to, because you say, well, this is how we do it. And they go, no, I know what I'm doing. So what you're actually looking for is a person who not only maybe has qualifications, but also an attitude and a willingness to be part of a team, because a business is part of a team. And if you have somebody who knows everything but is unwilling to be part of a team, then they are going to ruin your team. And so you have to hire from both aspects. Like I said before, sometimes hiring somebody with a lot of experience can be a negative impact, but also sometimes hiring somebody with a lot of experience can be a positive impact if their attitude is also correct. So what we're really looking for is for the person with that willingness and that capability to be a part of the team and actually produce as a team member. And that to me is more important than somebody who just has the quote unquote resume or maybe a degree or something of that nature. We really are at a point in this country where we put too much attention on the degree or the college education that a person has over their attitude and willingness. I can always train somebody who has the right attitude and the right willingness to be a part of the team into how to do that job better than a person who thinks they know everything, or because they have a degree, they're so much smarter and that they're the ones who should have that job. That person is not necessarily there for the sake of the group, but more the sake of themselves. Now, obviously, if we're talking about specific jobs and roles and industries where you have to have specific training to do something, then yes. If I have to hire a nuclear physicist, well, I'm not going to hire the most willing 18-year-old that I found working down the street. I'm going to have to hire somebody who fits those parameters. So don't think that this just applies to non-specific industries. But what I'm trying to say is that if I am going to have to hire somebody with specific training, then once I have somebody with that specific training, then I am going to hire the person with the best attitude. Maybe not necessarily the most experienced, but the person who is willing and the person who is trying to do something. You can even do tests with your new hires and your new employees. Something my dad used to talk about when doing group interviews was to give specific instructions to arrive at specific times and park in specific places and fill out specific forms to test the aptitude and IQ of different people and make sure that they fill out the forms correctly, et cetera, et cetera. There's little things that you can do to test willingness, but most importantly is the attitude. All too often, I see businesses hiring the practice manager, hiring the most trained person they can, but that person might not do it the way that you want it to. And that person might not be the correct person for your business, because all too often, the people with this training are going down one path in an industry and they're not willing to look outside the box. They are thinking like everybody else. Our business owners and the people we work with are thinking outside the box. So do you really want to hire somebody who's unable to even look outside the box or look past the, well, this is how we normally do things, you might get stuck. So to summarize it up, you have to weigh different options. But what I'm trying to point out to you is that one of the most important things that we put in is what is the attitude and willingness to learn and understand of the person rather than just the qualifications that we think that they need. Now, if you need help figuring out employees, who to hire, what issues you might have going on with your current employees, click down below, go to Adventure to Profit. You'll see the link down there. You can fill out a form online. You can talk to us. We'll go over it with you and see what we can do to help you. And you can also check out metapulse.com. They are our channel sponsors. You can find out more information about them down below, and we'll see you next time.